Greetings. My name is Gushan Barnard, ne? And someone recently asked me a question, and that's essentially what this video is about. So yeah, someone asked me, ne, what influence will technology have over the future of religion? My response was, I deeply love studying world history. Most people don't know this, but the 19th century, it was the century of faith. Okay, in 1881, a religious leader, ne, Muhammad Ahmad bin Abdallah, declared that he was the Mahdi, simply meaning the Messiah, okay? And then sent to establish the law of God on earth. That's essentially what he was insinuating, okay? His supporters, ne, defeated the Anglo-Egyptian army and beheaded its commander, General Charles Gordon, in a gesture that shocked Victorian Britain. They then established in Sudan an Islamic theocracy governed by Sharia law, which lasted until 1898. Okay. Meanwhile, in India, Dayananda Saraswati headed a Hindu revival movement whose basic principle was the Vedic scriptures, nah? Was that the Vedic scriptures are never wrong. Okay? Which is, which is a fair assumption to make. Dayananda's contemporary Pope Pius IV shared Dayananda's admiration for superhuman authority. Pius led a series of reforms in Catholic dogma and established a novel principle of papal infallibility, according to which the Pope can never err in matters of faith. This seemingly medieval idea became binding Catholic dogma only in 1870. Okay, right. 30 years before the Pope discovered that he is incapable of making mistakes, a failed Chinese scholar called Hong Shikuan had a succession of religious visions. In these visions, God revealed that Hong was none other than the younger brother of Jesus Christ. Wow. Yeah, Shikuan. Wow, imagine that. Jesus Christ had a younger brother. Who would have known? Anyways, yeah, this is intellectualism, so just bear with me. This is deep stuff. So yeah, God then invested Hong with a divine mission. He told Hong to expel the Manchu demons that had ruled China over the 17th century and established on earth the great peaceful kingdom of heaven, otherwise known as Taiping Tiang Wao, however you enunciate or pronounce that. But anyways, that's not the point here. Yet most of us don't think about the 19th century as the age of faith. When we think of 19th century visionaries, we are far more likely to recall Marx, Engels, and Lenin than the Mahdi, Pius IV, or Hong Xiu Quan. And rightly so. Though in 1850, socialism was only a fringe, far-fetched movement, it soon gathered momentum and changed the world in far more profound ways than the self-proclaimed Messiah of China and Sudan. If you count on what we call NHI, the Universal Healthcare, pension funds, and free schools, you need to think Marx, Lenin, and Otto von Bismarck far more than Hong Shikuan or the Mahdi. Why did Marx and Lenin succeed where Hong and Mahdi failed? It's not because socialist humanism was philosophically more sophisticated than Islam and Christian theology, but rather because Marx and Lenin devoted more attention to understanding the technological and economic realities of their lifetime or of their time, than to perusing ancient texts and prophetic dreams. Steam engines, railroads, telegraphs, and electricity created unheard of problems as well as unprecedented opportunities. Okay? The experiences, needs, and hopes of the new class of urban proletariats. Okay, a proletariat, now obviously you have what we call your bourgeoisie and your proletariats. Your proletariat simply referring to the working class, your bourgeoisie simply referring to the elite, those who own things. Okay, right? Yeah, a social class. Now, what we mean when we talk about proletariats in this specific case is a social class comprising of those who do manual labor or work for wages, okay, was simply too different from those of biblical peasants. I'm going to just, read that portion again. Steam engines, railroads, telegraphs, and electricity created unheard of problems as well as unprecedented opportunities. The experiences, needs, and hopes of the new class of urban proletariats were simply too different from those of biblical peasants. Okay? To answer these needs and hopes, Marx and Lenin studied how a steam engine functions, how a coal mine operates, how railroads shape the economy, and how electricity influences politics. Okay, any religion in the future makes itself irrelevant if it doesn't speak to the developments in society. In Israel, as an example, the leaders are more concerned with the warranty on their brand new desalination plant than with something as abstract and irrelevant as Talmudic hermeneutics. Now, obviously, that's an opinion, but that's, what this world gets governed by. It gets governed by opinions. And, this is one of my many opinions.